Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to my developer update video. Because, you know, if I did not make this video and put this out today, everybody would be asking on today's video that I had planned for something else, just like, hey, Bran, what do you think about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to avoid that. I'm going to make my developer update video that I always like to make. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the developer update where a lot of things are changing. Minorly, we're getting player cards. So now there's going to be a new element of customization in Dead by Daylight. It looks very pretty down here. Looks very, very cool. Kind of reminds me almost of like the old, like the COD thing where you could have like, I guess those are, you know, just player cards in practice. So yeah, I love that. I love that in those games. So, you know, I'm going to like it in my main game. So this is going to be cool. Great. It could be another potential reward for like rifts and stuff like that. They're probably going to sell them in the store. So you probably need to see that coming. So if you're like, you know, you're anti like, you know, them selling stuff like that, you may not be a huge fan of this, but otherwise this is a cool update. It just adds more to the game, and I am totally down for that. Totally down for player cards. This is a big controversial one. This is probably the L the L that a lot of people have been pointing out with this current developer update. The Trickster, and I have said this for a very, very long time, the Trickster is a very like cognitively dissonant killer. He's 110, which is usually reserved for range killers to keep people far away, but he can't really injure people far away, so it kind of doesn't make sense. Same thing with the lullaby. The lullaby is there to warn people of a potential, you know, injuring attack that can be, you know, occurring from the full length of the tear radius, but obviously he has to hit you multiple times, so that doesn't fit either. But also he's not particularly not oppressive, because once you get in a loop, most loops in the game, it's not a matter of if you'll go down against a Trickster, it's about how long it will take, because he just pelts you with knives and there's not really any counterplay. So I've always said that the Trickster has been kind of like just like a very oddly designed killer, and he kind of just like works against himself with like certain aspects of his kit just work against itself, and just kind of like it's a very awkward killer. So they're trying to clean him up and make him more consistent. There's some good stuff in here, like throwing 4 blades a second. Recoil is gone, so for those of you that play on console, that's very exciting and awesome. Throw rate doesn't increase, but you know, your blades are more consistent, so that's overall good for you. They did adjust the laceration meter to be higher. It is now up to 8 when it was 6 before, and the decay is much quicker now, so it's not like survivors are just getting hosed. So this part of it is very, very good for the most part. However, this section where it's like fast-paced main event, this is where things get a little worrisome, which might make him pretty annoying to deal with. He's now 115, so there's that. So now he's going to be not only on you, pelting you with knives, and you know, eventually winning the chase, but now he's going to be fast. So I think that when it comes to the lullaby, I would have taken the lullaby away instead of adjusting the tear radius. I think I would have done either or, right? Like we talked about how it's kind of confusing that he has both of these aspects, but I would have taken either or. So it might be fine. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But the thing that's definitely going to be very, very scary is main event, because main event used to take 30 blades and now requires just 6. Just 6. You know, main event, that thing that makes him like the 3rd best camper in the game. Yeah, you just get that at 6 blades now. Wow. I know the duration has been halved, but like, it only takes 8 blades to injure somebody. Just put throwing that out there. It only takes 8 blades to injure somebody. So the fact that he's just gonna have, it only takes him 6 blades to charge his main event. Like, okay, so like the thing we've always wanted for main event is that when you charge it, you get to hold it like Oni gets to hold his Blood Fury. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted for this character. That's the most common suggested change to main event to make it actually fun and useful. But instead they just said, let's just like turbo buff main event to be great and borderline obnoxious. This is not the path I would have went with this. I definitely would have just said, hey, you can just hold main event and use it when you want. Not make it like only 6. Like, this isn't even like they halved it. Like, this is worse. Like, even if they have this to 15, like 15 blades to charge it, it still would have been a very significant change, but it's all the way down to 6. This is going to be one of the most obnoxious updates with this character. It's going to be killer queue times are going to be through the roof in the PTB that's coming Wednesday of next week, because, oh boy, nobody wants to face that. I'll tell you that right now. This change is not going to fly. Of course, a lot of the add-ons have been adjusted to reflect the new main event, but like I've been saying, hey, let's not go through with the main event change, please. It is not great. And now the thing you've probably all been waiting for, especially with me, who's had kind of like mixed feelings about Made for This. Is it really, really, really bad and really, really meta? Yes. Is it top 3 perks in the game? I don't think so. Is it still starting to bottleneck changes in the game? Like people wanting to adjust hope, resilience, a bunch of other companion perks because of it? Oh yeah. Is it in situations where it does become OP, like Wing with Windows of Opportunity, making Made buildings very uncounterable? Yes. These are all true. So what did behavior end up doing to nerf Made for This? Well, after healing another survivor, you gain the status effect of endurance. That did not change. However, while you were affected by deep wounds, you run 3% faster. So now this is almost specifically a companion perk to be used with other endurance perks. Obviously, it causes endurance itself, so you don't have to run something with it, but it's going to mostly be used as a companion perk for endurance. We'll also point out, did we not consider Deathslinger and Legion when we were making these change? Like, killers that naturally apply deep wounds, are they just going to get hosed by Made for This just because they played a specific character? That just kind of seems like an oversight. Overall, this is like, the idea is essentially you had to limit access to the perk, right? Like, you don't have to change the effect, you just have to limit the amount of times it is present in a game. And the way they chose to go about doing this is only having it proc on deep wounds, which is a way to go, and I would argue makes it like a little underwhelming, which is kind of like in line with a lot of changes that happen in Dead by Daylight. Is like, hey, this thing is OP and now it's just annoying and kind of bad. And I think that's kind of like where they ended up with Made for This. If you don't know my idea for the Made for This change, I was going to make it something like Fire Up, where it was kind of like a get stronger over time kind of perk that, you know, you get the 1% on first injury, the 2% on first hook and injured, and then on death hook and injured, you get the 3%. That way it's more of like an end game comeback perk and not like a, you know, you get the total effect the entire game. This is fine, but like I said, it kind of makes the perk pretty underwhelming, and I guess I would rather have it be underwhelming than bottlenecking design, you know, which is what it's currently doing. So I guess that's fine. I guess that's okay. I mean, I'll be happy not to see Made for This every single game all the time. But I do wish there was a little bit more to this. I wish that it, I don't know. Maybe this is just the way it has to be. And also, there are a lot of times when we initially, like, you know, when they initially, you know, changed Dead Hard, that we were like, this seems like it's making the perk kind of underwhelming. And then there was kind of a lull, and then it kind of made its comeback. Now you see Dead Hard in a lot of games again because people have realized the perk's not actually as over-nerfed as people made it out to be. It's still a pretty good perk, so it might just end up being one of those situations. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Just at a glance, I'm like, this is kind of underwhelming. But I'll take it, I guess, over the current version of the perk, so. Yeah, anyways, if you play Killer, this is probably a huge W. And yeah, it's just a huge W. Probably makes you really happy. Finally, we are having the Garden of Joy update come through. You should know about this already if you've been paying attention to like the Reddit Ask Me Anythings that Behavior has been doing, which, you know, we do appreciate besides the FOMO comment. Besides the FOMO comment, we have appreciated the Reddit Ask Me Anythings. They said that they're mainly focusing on the windows of the house, which is kind of like the most problem. Okay, so the two main issues are being addressed. So like the windows in main building, obviously the Gone window in particular has kind of been the main reason the Garden of Joy is mostly painful. So they're looking at that. Also, they're balancing the pallet loops, because obviously you have the parking lot loop into the jungle gym, into a path pallet, into a jungle gym, into shack. Like that whole line is really, really good. So that's probably what they're looking at when they're referring to like cleaning up like the loops and that sort of thing. So yeah, they're tackling the two main issues of Garden of Joy. We'll have to see how it plays out, right, in the PTB. But it just at a glance, the two things they're focused on are the two issues that make the map one of the best Survivor maps in the game. So let's see. And Red Forest, they are tackling the main two issues with this map too. Now, if you didn't know from the Reddit Ask Me Anything, bringing that up again, the main reason that they didn't adjust the size of the Red Forest maps is because they actually ran out of time. making these. So they had intended to change it, but you know, obviously they, you know, time crunch went burr. So they're, you know, going back in now, and they're going to be adjusting the size to be more in line with other maps. Perfect. That's been the issue with both Temple and Mother's Dwelling for the longest time. So that's finally being changed. And for me, this makes me happy as somebody who plays Xenomorph and Billy. They've reduced the amount of vegetation surrounding the loops. So thank goodness. I cannot tell you how many times I'm going for like a cool shot, or a cool snipe, a cool chainsaw, and I'm just getting blocked by just a random tree in the loop for no reason. It's just dumb. So yeah, I'm glad. It's literally the two main issues. Once again, just like with Garden of Joy, it's the two main issues with these maps. They have correctly diagnosed the problem, and we'll see if they fix it correctly. Overall, this developer update does look good, does look great. Like I said, the only thing I'm worried about is like Trickster. It seems like they are potentially extremely obnoxious now. Definitely, you know, look at that character and adjust it. But like, I don't know if this is the solution. Everything else, really great. MFT might be a little underwhelming, but at least it's not a, you know, bottlenecking design and being awful anymore. The two map updates, they've correctly identified the issue, and they're going to be, you know, hopefully adjusting those correctly since they've correctly diagnosed the issue. And we get the cool player card stuff, which is another level of customization, so especially in a game this late in its life cycle. Showing off is kind of something that, you know, especially us long-term players, it's kind of one of the only things we got. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be great. Coming up this Wednesday, they're doing the PTB. We'll play it and we'll see. But at a glance, looks pretty good. What do you guys think of the developer update? Let me know down in the comments below. But on that, this could be it for today's video. I will see you tomorrow, though, because I do upload daily. And if I don't see you then, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.